Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you to check your answers on page 4 of the packet for today. And I've made a little note here that factoring trinomials, you always use the diamond method. Factoring happens when you have an expression. You can also use factoring to solve, but an expression doesn't have an equal sign, and you simplify an expression. So this is what we were doing yesterday. You label your A, B, and C, you set up your diamond, find your factors, DRS if A is greater than 1, and then you check using box or FOIL. So it says which expression is equivalent to this trinomial right here. Now if you ever forgot to do, or how to do factoring rather, you would be able to multiply these two factors together in order to see which one matches up with this trinomial right here. So you could use, one way of doing this is using box or FOIL with the answers. That can't be the case in every single one of your problems because look at numbers 2 and 3. Numbers 2 and 3 only give you one of the factors in the answer choices, so you would have to know how to factor in order to be able to answer problems 2 and 3. So looking at problem number 1, you'd be able to do your diamond method if you didn't choose to use the answers. So A equals 2, B equals 7, and C equals 4, your coefficients in front of your trinomial. Now because A equals 2, you know that you're going to have to DRS at the end. I like to write those little DRS letters to help remind myself that that's what I need to do for the final step. Now I set up my diamond. A times C goes on top, B goes on the bottom. A times C is 8, and B is 7. So what factors of 8 are going to add to be 7? 1, add to be 7. Oh, Masuko's tripping over here. What factors of 8 are going to add to be 7? When you think about the factors of 8, you have 1 and 8, and 2 and 4. -1 plus 8 is positive 7, but it doesn't multiply to be 8. -8 and positive 1 adds to be -7. So this is not factorable. None of the combinations work. So your answer is none of these. Problem number 2. Which expression is a factor of this trinomial? Again, because you only have one of the factors for your answer choices, you must do the diamond method with problem number 2. So A is 21, B is 13, and C is -20. A is greater than 1, so you know that you're going to have to DRS. Set up your diamond. A times C goes on top, B goes on the bottom. 21 times -20 is -420, and 13 goes on the bottom. These are very large numbers, and so I'm going to go directly into y equals to help me with these factors. Let's see. We want factors of 420 that are going to add to be 13. 35 and 12. So positive 35 and -12. And I can check that because 35 minus 12. Ooh. 13. That's not going to work. Let's see. 28 and 15. Good thing Masuko's checking. 28 minus 15 is 13. And I know that it's a -15 because 28 minus 15 has to give me a positive 13. So now I set up my factors. And I know that I need to divide by A. Reduce and swing. So I'm going to reduce 28 over 21. Both of them can be divided by 7. This becomes x plus 4 over 3. 15 and 21 can both be divided by 3. S stands for swing. You swing any of the denominators up to the front. This becomes 3x plus 4, 7x minus 5. Now if I go through my answer choices, this is not the correct answer because this would need to be plus 4. This one will keep. This does not make sense. This would need to be minus 5, and this would need to be able to be plus 4. What the answers be? Next example together. A equals 18, B equals negative 15, and C equals 2. Make a little note that you need a DRS if A does not equal 1. A times C is 36, B is negative 15, 36, negative 12, and negative 3. Because negative 12 times negative 3 is positive 36, negative 12 minus 3 is negative 15. If you didn't know what that was, you could double check that in your calculator. I set up my factors, x minus 12 and x minus 3. Divide by A. Reduce and swing. 12 and 18 can both be divided by 6. X minus 2 over 3. Both of them can be divided by 3 over here. X minus 1 over 6. S stands for swing. Those are our two factors. 3x minus 2, we'll keep it. Don't know where that one came from. Don't know where that one came from. Don't know where that one came from. The answer is A. Now that you've double checked your work here, go ahead and take a look at the iExcel link for solving trinomials. Now very important is that solving trinomials, you can either use factoring the diamond method or graphing by finding the x-intercepts when y equals 0. I'm going to go through these examples right here with the class, but if you want to get a head start and give them a try, you're welcome to try problem number 1 right here. Be sure to tell me if you're solving by graphing or solving by factoring.